We're on. Okay, hey. Welcome again, everybody. I'm Willie from Willie's American Guitars. As you know, I'm kind of a history buff on the American guitar, and I got something in that I want to show you. But first, I want to go through back in the time machine, way back. You know, in 1967 was the Monterey Pop Festival, and the Monterey Jazz Festival went way back to the 50s. But in 1967, the promoters decided to do a pop festival, which was beneath them, really. But in '67, it was pretty apparent that things were changing. There was the Vietnam War. People were getting sent to Vietnam and didn't know why they were doing it, and the youth of America was rising up. Culturally, things were changing. In the early '60s, there was a skinny tie, skinny lapels, and then if you look at, for instance, the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's record, you can see things were really changing. Bright colors. Gone was the old, in with the new. And the Monterey Pop Festival was a hugely important thing. It brought along the Summer of Love, as they called it, which the Mamas and the Papas had a song, San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair. It was the hippie revolution, the flower power, the flower child. And a lot of this is this peacenik response to this Vietnam War, because kids at that time were getting conscripted, drafted to go to Vietnam, and they were pissed about it, and they just kind of all rose up. And the Monterey Pop Festival is hugely important because it brought Otis Redding to the public. It brought Hendrix. It was the first time Americans had seen Hendrix. He was in England and came out and was touring here, but the Monterey Pop Festival was this huge show of force for the hippie culture. And a lot of things happened. If you are Rickenbacker fans, most of the hollow body Rickenbackers you see are from 66, 67, 68, because it was more popular playing hollow body guitars then. If you think of the Stones in 1966 did Aftermath, and that's the first time we heard dulcimers on a rock record, sitars on a rock record. Things were changing and evolving and being a little more acoustical. In the late 60s, you see more and more harmonies that are F-holes. So Gibson made more 330s, 335s, 175s. It was a big thing. And Fender really started making hollow body guitars then too. It was really the rage. And if you think of 1966's Revolver, when that record came out, everybody really started growing their hair. In '63, the Beatles' long hair was like, what's going on? Our culture is disintegrating. By '67, everybody had long hair. 1967 was really when things changed. And there was this trend towards these flowery things. This is a copy of a blue floral Strat. Remember, it didn't really make these. They made tellies and basses, but they made them in a pink paisley color. And those are very, very rare. But what was even rarer was the blue paisley. Hey, wait for it. I'm getting to it. So what we got in the other day is a 1968 blue paisley Telecaster. Now, there is probably one for every 100 paisley tellies, and there isn't that many. There is very, very few of these. I honestly have never held one in person, and I've seen at least a dozen pink paisley tellies. We've sold at least a dozen pink paisley tellies in the past 35 years. So they only made these blue floral Telecasters and basses, and pink paisley Telecasters and basses for 2 years. 1968, and it was kind of in response to the '67 Summer of Love, this flower child thing. This was really marketing going on from Fender. And you can see this one I got from the original owner was well played, well loved. But what's interesting is the lacquer finish. '68 for you Fender nerds is the last year for lacquer. Early '68 had lacquer, and then they started using polyurethane by the end of '68. So when it comes to these custom color Telecasters, there is sometimes, very few of them would have Kluson tuners, and that is the most valuable of the series. This one does not. It has the F tuners. But then they have the lacquer like this 50s Esquire, you can see it's worn away. It's really hard to wear away the polyurethane, and that was the point. But the lacquer feels better. This is a fully lacquered neck. And as you guys know, this was done with wallpaper and then lacquer over. So only in early '68 did you see lacquer finishes. And if you're looking at Paisley guitars, the lacquer is really preferred. It feels better, it works better, and then the polyurethane is a little glassier to play. Rosewood boards would be also rare. I've never seen it, but it's possible. And these are notoriously bright guitars from the era, from the Ash and the 1 meg pots, but this is a great sounding guitar just on its own, without it being one of the rarest Fender colors ever. The Blue Floral Telecasters, there's one other for sale right now. It's in Paris, France, but we're kind of excited to see it. We're showing this to anybody that comes in. It will be for sale in a few days after we go through and verify it. I just got it just a few minutes ago, and I had been talking to the original owner for some time. He bought it new in Duluth, Minnesota, and we're kind of proud to present it to you. It's a big collectible, and it's worn up enough that it won't reach absolute top dollar. So the lacquer finish gives it points for being worth more. The condition gives it, makes it more affordable for the buyer, but it's 100% original, no modifications, comes with the original case, comes with a letter from the original owner. He is sending me some photos of him playing it back in the 60s, and we are super excited about having it. So there's about 10% of you out there that is going, whoa, a Blue Floral Tele. And yeah, a Blue Floral Tele. Check it out.